Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and yeah, we're going to be talking about YouTube and the whole advertiser thing, probably until this thing gets settled. I've tried walking away from it, but every time I try to walk away, they keep bringing me back in because more things keep happening. And I do believe that this is such an interesting and intricate problem that we need to discuss this more and more and more. And it's not just a commentator community thing or a news channel thing or a gameplay thing. This affects every single one of us at this particular point in time. And it's something that, if nothing else, should bring the community together as a whole to discuss the issues and to demand answers. Instead, what we're getting essentially is, instead of an advertiser boycott, it feels like an advertiser blacklist. In fact, it's not just news channels. It's also gun channels like TheFirearmBlog, which these guys right here have an article that they just posted titled "Breaking: YouTube Gun Channels in Danger of Disappearing Forever." They said here, in an unannounced move, it appears that YouTube has pulled ads from gun-related videos. You might be thinking that's a good thing and are happy about the decision, but you would be wrong. Thanks to the removal of any revenue that creators use to cover costs and even make a living, YouTube gun channels are in danger of disappearing forever. And again, that is not just a sentiment that is relegated to just YouTube gun channels. That goes to a number of varying channels in this particular website that all come from different walks of life and everything else. There are people out there that play your favorite new video games that are feeling the exact same sting, so they can't afford to go buy those new games, and if they're not provided a review copy, then they are not able to play them. In some respects, the same thing goes towards maybe even makeup bloggers. Maybe they're the ones currently being targeted. I don't know. I haven't spoken to any directly, but they could also find themselves in this particular situation. And it does go on here to say at the bottom, it appears that all gun-related videos on YouTube have been flagged as restricted material, which is 18 plus. That means that either YouTube's algorithms or users have flagged them as inappropriate for one reason or another. Once a video is flagged, it is no longer eligible for monetization. And again, that's all about the YouTube age restriction stuff, which generally most people out there absolutely positively agree with. They go, yes, if it's age restricted, there shouldn't be monetization on it. You know, you can go onto YouTube right now and do a search for bikini waxing, and you can find a video of a fully naked woman getting a bikini wax. Why she's topless, I have no fucking idea. But you see everything. I mean, it's getting up there and close. You're getting to find out what religion she is. That's how close up it gets. And that should not be allowed to be monetized unless there are companies that don't mind advertising on age-restricted content. But this is also something that we all generally tend to understand. But the article here goes on to say, I've spoken with several other YouTubers in the gun community, and all of them are reporting the same thing we are seeing. There is no indication from YouTube if this is a temporary change or a permanent one at this time. We are still waiting for YouTube to respond to our request for comment. And again, that is the biggest problem here, and the reason why those of us who do this full time are not stopping talking about it, because we need answers. We fucking hell demand answers. Susan Wojcicki needs to come out and make a statement about this. She needs to either tell us we have nothing to worry about, that they're fixing things, or it's time for us to find other avenues. I don't know about you, but I'm currently researching every single subway that's next to the new place I'm moving to in Washington because I'm looking for work. But jumping over here to the Firearm Blog YouTube channel, just to give you an idea of what they do, they've got 288,758 subscribers, and their videos tend to pull in a fair amount, right? And if you just look over at their video list here, you can see maybe why they've been restricted, even though none of this stuff is bad by any stretch of the imagination. But it is kind of provocative in terms of how it's displayed and the content there. Again, I don't view anything wrong with this. Glock versus SNW MMP versus Ruger versus Caltech, right? Resizing or reising whatever submachine gun, or resing submachine gun, good initiative, bad design. So it's a review of a gun here. 1,760 yard shot. I mean, types of stuff with ammunition, stuff about guns. All of these top 5 ways to reload from the side block. Okay. Now, while I personally don't have an issue with this, looking through it, especially this one right here, UK shooting and firearm ownership explained. And I think this is entirely what's happening here. But these videos get lots of views, 115,000, 115,000, 26,000, 202,000, you know, all of these things. Well, there was this event last week, and that's why I think this is happening to gun channels or these kind of related channels. Probably because there's not enough disclosure. Now, if you aren't aware of this, this is something that angered the entirety of YouTube. We spoke up like a motherfucker and ended up, I'd like to say, helping this person out. So this is an article in the Daily Mail titled "Google Blood Money. Web Giant Clashes in Vile 7-minute Video Showing Knife Expert Penetrating Stab Vest with like the one worn by Murdered Westminster PC." Now, of course, this is referring to the Westminster Bridge incident where a police officer was, I believe, stabbed by the terrorist who killed 3 other people, or a couple other people, by trying to drive a truck into them. This happened a couple weeks ago. Absolutely fucking tragic. But what they are referring to in this is a video by the Slingshot channel. This guy, Jorg Sprav, who has over 1.7 million subscribers. I think at this point, far more than 1.7 million based on the controversy. And it's him reviewing this $60 stab-proof vest he bought on Amazon. But the problem with it is that the title of the video was up here, "How to Pierce a Stab-Proof Vest." That was the original title of the video, basically showcasing that it feels like a, you know, it's kind of like some of the stuff you saw on the other stuff over here, you know, on the other channels and stuff. And as a result of this, a lot of people were, you know, at least the way that these particular authors were approaching the story, were trying to say, like, this is him teaching people how to stab through a stab-proof vest. Never mind the fact that this was a review. It just wasn't properly disclosed as a review. And looking over here again, UK Shooting and Firearm Ownership Explained, this is explained, but also the UK, this video came out before the Westminster Bridge incident. Sprov's video, Slingshot Channel's video, came out before that incident. But you can kind of see where there might be issues here, where there might be problems here. And that is also what I think YouTube is striking down on. In the case of the Slingshot Channel, what they did is they said, okay, you have to just make it more apparent that this is a review, add some more disclosure, and you're fine. And I think that would happen to probably other channels as well. But there's such this huge fear right now that these ads are popping up on videos that are pro-ISIS or pro-terrorist or white supremacist or white nationalist or racist or sexist or whatever the fuck else they want to say that these videos are appearing on. It does make sense that there is some level of fear about where these ads are being placed, even though these videos have not done anything wrong. Yes, the titles might be a wee bit clickbaity. Yes, the titles might be designed, and the thumbnails might be designed to get your attention, but that's effectively why they are where they are. But again, it's not just happening to these channels. And we have a little bit more information here coming from the David Pakman Show, which earlier today did a video breaking, talking about Advertiser Blacklist, which is what I mentioned earlier. And this is from a letter that he got from a viewer of his, where she says, "Hi, David, I'm the chick from Twitter that says I've been advertising on your channel specifically for a few weeks and noticed a huge drop in my impressions over the last couple of days. This woman also advertises on Sam Cedar, The Humanist Report, Ring of Fire, and Secular Talk. These are all kind of like progressive blogs or vlog channels, news channels on YouTube. And she says that her ads have consistently had more placements on your videos than anyone else's. But yesterday, you fell to the bottom. Only 6 impressions for the day." And that is very odd because David Pakman is not very much, not a provocative person, right? He's not. Look at David here. Look at this. He's white toast, right? He's vanilla. He's very, you know, he's non-threatening, and that's not an insult on David. I happen to like David, but it's not an insult. That just gives you an idea of what's kind of going on here. She says that she did call and speak with customer service at AdWords. She says she spoke with a great guy who spent a lot of time looking at things and talking with his dude at YouTube to see if they could figure out what's going on. But then he does tell her that they've cracked down especially hard right now until they figure out how to fix the situation for everyone. They are very much trying to figure this whole thing out and make it you know, make it work for everyone. But in the meantime, this is one of the reasons why probably David's ad revenue has dropped to like $6 a day, down from like probably a few $100s a day. There's a lot. Like everyone is getting hit. I'm down 65%. Other people are down, what they're saying is like 90%. And that's like Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk. And then you kind of start to realize, okay, they're cracking down hard right now until they fix the situation. But then why? Why is it happening? Well, she says here that that the guy from AdWords talked to his buddy from YouTube, and what they think is the issue is that the titles are considered provocative. And he pointed to words like homosexual, hate, burning, son of God, etc., which might be affecting YouTube advertisement placements. And because things are so strict right now, that's why he's being hammered as hard as he is. And but once that situation lightens up, then maybe those things will kind of be lessened, right? But right now there are big no-go words. And that is something that Kyle Kulinski on Secular Talk talks about. He talks about ISIS. He talks about Syria. He talks about a number of issues. A lot of the other channels do as well. There's a reason why on my channel, I will avoid the word rape in the title. If I use the word rape, I will use an asterisk for the A. I will, yes, to an extent, censor a word kind of in order to get past that pesky fucking filter, which is annoying as all shit. But unfortunately, it's literally what we have to deal with right now. And that is unfortunate that we're seeing this from a number of different channels across the YouTube spectrum, which is one of the reasons why I've continuously wanted to talk about this issue, simply because we need to continue driving attention to it. This is not just affecting people that you watch like me or Sargon or The Amazing Atheist or Chris Reagan, you know, or Mr. Nobre or anyone else like that. Like, this is literally affecting everybody. This is a site-wide issue because of knee-jerk reactions to fear-mongering from the Daily Mail, to fear-mongering from the Wall Street Journal, and everything else. And even PewDiePie is saying YouTube is over, you know, and he's going all crazy about it, trying to drive more attention to the problem using his massive platform. And so the only thing we can do right now, essentially, is to continue talking about these issues, to continue discussing them, continue essentially exposing them as they come up, and keep asking and demanding for a response. So we're not sitting here twiddling our thumbs, making wild speculations, wild accusations. So we have evidence, we have information, and we can plan accordingly. And that is literally all we fucking want. But apparently, according to Google and YouTube, that's too hard right now. And so you have paid advertisers that are trying to spend money, that aren't being allowed to spend money, while YouTube figures it out. They figure out a non-issue, right? We know that the video, the Chief Keef video that the Wall Street Journal said had, you know, was racist and everything else, that took all the shit down. We know that it was owned by an MCN, claimed by an MCN. We know that there was only $20 that was made on that video that sparked all this shit. We know all of these things. And I know YouTube knows them too, but instead of discussing it or working fast, they decide, no, we're going to make it so impersonation channels have to have 10,000 views, lifetime views, in order to be monetized. But you know, here's the thing. Yeah, fine. You can do that all you want, YouTube, but if there's no ads playing on the goddamn fucking videos, then what's the damn point? And I'm sorry if I sound frustrated. I am frustrated. I'm very frustrated because I see these things. I see people hurting. I see people struggling. I see people freaking out. And all I want to do is help. And the only way I can help is watching them with my YouTube Red so they get something. And then also amplifying and broadcasting the message and demanding an answer from YouTube, demanding an answer from Susan Wojcicki. Shit, Grade A Under A did this a few months ago. Well, maybe longer than a few months ago, maybe like 6 months ago, somewhere in there, 6-7 months ago, somewhere in there. But the point is that it was done, and it can be done again if we stick together. And that's just insane that it's gotten to be, you know, a blacklist essentially is happening. And people are just, they're freaking out. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? I am curious to know. Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Mundane Matt. If you guys want to support the channel, you can subscribe. You can share the video around. Definitely thumbs it up. Definitely comment. I have a Patreon, which could really use some help right now. I've got, Amazon affiliate, which also is perfect. And yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.